The fastest way to grow. Grass seeds. Full lawn in record time. Have you ever done everything right? You bought the grass seed, scattered it over that bare patch of dirt, watered it faithfully every morning, and then you waited. 3 weeks go by, and what do you have? A few lonely green sprouts scattered across a sea of brown dirt. The birds had a feast. The rain washed half of it away. And you're left wondering what went wrong. I've been there. It's frustrating. But here's the truth. That slow, patchy result isn't your fault. It's the method. Most people approach grass seed like sprinkling salt on dinner. They just shake and hope. And hope is not a strategy. What if I told you that you could go from bare dirt to a thick, green, walkable lawn in half the time? That those 3 weeks of waiting could actually be 10 days to a carpet of grass so dense your neighbors will think you laid sod? Today, I'm sharing the exact step-by-step method that professional landscapers use to establish lawns at maximum speed. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your past attempts failed and precisely how to fix it, so your next seeding is your last seeding. Why grass seed takes so long. Before we dive into the solution, we need to understand the problem. Why does grass seed sometimes take forever to grow? Think of a grass seed as a tiny survival pod. Inside that shell is a living plant embryo waiting for the perfect moment to emerge. If it sprouts too early and runs out of water, it dies. If it sprouts in cold soil and gets hit by frost, it dies. So, it waits. Most homeowners accidentally create conditions that make the seed say, "not yet," over and over. The first major mistake is poor soil preparation. When you throw seed onto hard, compacted dirt, that seed is sitting on a sidewalk. It can't make contact with the soil, it can't draw moisture, and roots certainly can't penetrate. The second mistake is watering incorrectly. Some water too little, encouraging shallow roots. Others drown the seeds, causing rot. And still others water inconsistently, letting the seed dry out completely one day, then flooding it the next. The third mistake is using the wrong seed. Plant a sun-loving variety in shade, and it will struggle its entire life. The fourth mistake is skipping nutrients. Seeds contain just enough energy to sprout, but after that, they need food from the soil. If your dirt is lifeless, those baby grass plants will starve right after being born. Today, we're fixing all of that. Step 1. Choosing fast germinating grass. Seed varieties. The first decision, what seed to buy, has a bigger impact on speed than almost anything else. If you live in the northern half of the country, in the cool season grass region, your fastest option is perennial ryegrass. This stuff is the speed champion. Under ideal conditions, perennial ryegrass can germinate in as little as 5 to 7 days. The trade-off is that pure perennial ryegrass lawns can struggle in extreme cold or heavy foot traffic. Here's the pro tip. Look for a mix containing about 80% tall fescue and 20% perennial ryegrass. The ryegrass pops up first, holding the soil and giving you quick green gratification, while the fescue takes a little longer, about 10 to 14 days, but provides a deeper root system and a more durable lawn. If you live in the southern half of the country, in the warm season region, your speed champion is Bermuda grass. It loves heat and can germinate in 7 to 12 days when soil temperatures are warm enough. Avoid those super cheap bargain bags with names like Sun and Shade Mix or Economy Blend. These are often filled with annual ryegrass that dies after one season, or they contain high percentages of weed seeds. Spend the extra few dollars for quality seed from a reputable company. Step 2. Testing and preparing the soil. Now, let's talk about what's under it. The soil is the foundation. If the foundation is bad, the lawn fails. Before you do anything else, test your soil pH. Grass prefers a slightly acidic to neutral pH, somewhere between 6.0 and 7.0. If your soil is too acidic, below 6.0, the grass can't access nutrients even if they're present. If it's too alkaline, above 7.5, the same problem occurs. You can buy a simple soil test kit at any. If your soil is too acidic, add lime. If it's too alkaline, add sulfur. But here's the thing. Lime and sulfur take time to work, weeks or even months, so you might need to work with what you have. Adding organic matter, which we'll do in step 4, helps buffer pH problems to some degree. The preparation process starts with clearing the area. Step 3, loosening and aerating the soil surface. Here's where the real work begins. Remember what I said about compacted soil being like concrete? We need to break that up. Loosen the top 2 to 3 inches of soil. For small areas, a garden fork or sturdy rake will do. For larger areas, a rototiller is your best friend. You're not trying to dig a trench. You just want a loose, crumbly surface that roots can easily penetrate. This step is critical because compacted soil acts as a physical barrier. Grass roots are tiny when they first emerge. If they hit hard-packed soil, they'll stop growing. By loosening the soil, you're creating pathways for those roots to dive deep, leading to a more drought-resistant, stronger lawn. Step 4, adding nutrient-rich topsoil or compost. Now we get to the good stuff. This step transforms mediocre dirt into a seed-starting paradise. Add organic matter. Spread a 1 to 2 inch layer of high-quality compost or screen topsoil over your loosened soil. Compost is ideal because it's packed with beneficial microorganisms, slow-release nutrients, and organic material that improves soil structure. When you add compost, you're doing several things at once. First, improving water retention. Compost acts like a sponge, holding moisture near the seeds. Second, improving drainage in clay soils. Organic matter creates pore spaces for excess water. Third, adding a buffet of nutrients that will feed your grass seedlings as they grow. Step 5, evenly spreading grass. Seed. The moment has arrived. Time to put seed in the ground. First, read the back of your seed bag. It will tell you the recommended seeding rate, usually expressed as pounds per 1,000 square feet. For a new lawn, you're typically looking at 5 to 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet, depending on grass type. If you put down too little seed, you get a thin lawn. If you put down too much, seedlings compete and all are weak. For small areas, you can spread by hand. For anything larger than a few hundred square feet, invest in a broadcast spreader or drop spreader. These tools ensure even distribution. Step 6, lightly covering seeds for protection. The seed is down. Now, we need to secure it. Grass seed needs 3 things: moisture, warmth, and light. Deep burial is not on that list. If you bury seed too deep, it will never see the light it needs and will rot. But if you leave seed completely exposed, it's vulnerable. Rain washes it away. Sun bakes it dry. Birds treat it like a buffet. The solution is light coverage. Take the back of a rake, not the tines, the flat back, and gently drag it over the surface. This moves a tiny amount of soil over the seeds, just enough to hide them from birds, but not enough to block light. Step 7, using starter fertilizer to boost growth. Here's where we add the turbocharger. Your grass seed contains just enough stored energy to send out that first tiny root and shoot. After that, it needs nutrients from the soil. If your soil is poor, the seedling runs out of gas, leading to slow growth and weak plants. Starter fertilizer is specifically formulated for this. Look for a fertilizer with a higher middle number. That's phosphorus. The 3 numbers on a fertilizer bag represent nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen drives leaf growth. Phosphorus drives root growth. For a new seedling, we need roots first, leaves second. Step 8, proper watering. Schedule for fast germination. If step 7 was the turbocharger, step 8 is the fuel. And this is where most people crash. Watering new grass seed is a delicate balance. You need to keep seeds consistently moist, but not soaking wet. If the seed dries out even once during germination, that seed dies. Period, no second chances. For the first 10 to 14 days, until the grass is about an inch tall, you may need to water 3 to 4 times per day. That sounds like a lot, and it is. But the seeds are in the top quarter inch of soil. That tiny layer can dry out completely in just a few hours on a warm, sunny day. Each watering should be light. We're not trying to soak the soil 6 inches deep yet. We're just keeping that top layer damp. Aim for about 5 to 10 minutes per zone, just enough to darken the soil without creating puddles. Step 9, protecting seeds from birds and washout. We've put all this work in. The last thing we need is nature undoing it. Birds love grass seed. To them, a freshly seeded lawn is a miraculous gift. They'll come in flocks and scratch until half your seed is gone. The best protection is physical coverage. A light layer of straw, not hay straw, spread thinly over the seeded area, hides the seed from birds while still allowing light and water through. You want to be able to see about 50% of the soil through the straw. Too much straw blocks light and smothers seedlings. Another option is peat moss, which forms a light crust holding seeds in place. Or use specialized erosion control blankets on slopes where washout is a concern. The realistic timeline and signs of proper growth. You've done everything right. When will you see results? With this method, assuming soil temperatures are optimal, 50 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit for cool season grasses, 70 to 90 degrees for warm season grasses. Here's what to expect. Day 3 to 5, get down on hands and knees. You might see tiny white root hairs emerging from some seeds. It doesn't look like grass yet, but life is beginning. Day 5 to 7, the first green shoots appear. The lawn will have a faint green fuzz, like someone dusted it with green powder. Day 7 to 10, visible grass blades, maybe half an inch to an inch tall. The lawn will look thin, but green is spreading. Day 14 to 21, slower varieties catch up. The lawn begins to look like a real lawn, though still young and delicate. Day 21 to 28, thick enough for the first mowing. Growth tips for success. Let me give you quick tips that make the difference between good and great. First, temperature matters. Grass seed won't germinate in cold soil. For cool season grasses, wait until soil temperatures are consistently above 50 degrees. For warm season grasses, you need soil above 70 degrees. Buy a cheap soil thermometer or follow the general guideline. Cool season grasses go in during early spring or early fall. Warm season grasses in late spring through early summer. Second, prevent patchy areas by being methodical. Use that crisscross seeding pattern. Check your spreader calibration. Don't forget edges. Patchy areas almost always happen from inconsistent application. Third, speed up establishment by mowing correctly. The first mow is critical. Wait until grass is about 3 to 4 inches tall. Make sure your mower blade is sharp. A dull blade rips young seedlings out of the ground. Only cut the top third of the grass blade. If it's 3 inches tall, cut it to 2 inches. Removing more shocks the plant and stops root growth. Fourth, after the first mow, transition your watering. Instead of multiple light waterings, start watering deeply once a day, then every other day, then twice a week. This trains roots to grow deep where they'll find water during dry spells. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. Let's review the mistakes so you can avoid them. Mistake 1, walking on seeds or young seedlings. Stay off the lawn until it's at least 2 inches tall. Every footprint crushes emerging plants. Mistake 2, letting sprinklers miss areas. Check your coverage. Make sure water lands on soil, not just sidewalk. Those dry spots will be bare spots. Mistake 3, using weed killers too early. Do not apply any weed control until the lawn has been mowed at least 3 or 4 times. Chemicals that kill weeds will also kill your baby grass. Mistake 4, ignoring the weather forecast. If heavy rain is coming, don't seed right before it. Wait for a stretch of calm weather. Mistake 5, mowing too early or too late. Too early pulls plants out. Too late lets them get so tall they shade lower growth and become weak. Stick to the 3 to 4 inch rule. Mistake 6, skipping compost. Soil that's just plain dirt will grow grass eventually, but it will be slow and weak. Organic matter gives your lawn a head start. Maintaining healthy grass for thick fill-in. Your lawn is up. It's green. You've done the first mow. Now what? The first month after germination is when your lawn really establishes. Continue to water deeply but less frequently. The goal is to encourage those roots to keep diving deeper. Around 4 to 6 weeks after germination, apply a second round of fertilizer. This time, use a more balanced fertilizer or one with higher nitrogen to encourage leafy growth and fill in. The lawn should be getting thicker with each passing week. Conclusion: This is the moment where you decide to stop hoping and start doing. Every step I've shared with you today works because it works with nature instead of against it. You now have the exact blueprint that turns bare dirt into a living, breathing lawn in record time. The only thing standing between you and that thick green carpet is your willingness to put in the work. I know you can do this. I know because I've seen it happen countless times. The science is on your side, the method is proven. And now the knowledge is in your hands. All that's left is for you to take that first step outside. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and tapping that notification bell. We release fresh videos every week covering everything from fixing patchy spots to total garden overhauls. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you ready to seed your lawn this season? Have you tried before and walked away disappointed? Maybe you have a specific question I didn't answer. Drop it in the comment section. I read every single comment. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for trusting me to guide you through this process. Now, go grab your tools, get your hands dirty, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy growing.